To invite Mr. Ghassan Hasbani, Chief Executive Officer of Grey Coats.
Your Excellencies, dear participants in the 2015 annual meeting of the Global Federation of Competitiveness Councils and the Global Innovation Summit, I'm honored to have the opportunity to address this forum, and I thank SAGIA and the GFCC for the invitation. I came to Saudi Arabia in 1999, and time passed so quickly. I proudly participated and witnessed the transformation that picked up momentum year after year. And it's very interesting today to look back at what has been achieved over that time in terms of creating a positive investment and business environment in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the changes that have actually happened. What I have seen not only prepared the Kingdom for securing a competitive position on the global stage, but to also build sustainable advantage in the region and globally. In order to gain such a position, a country must not be only competitive today, but needs to also be ready for the future. So, the checklist for future readiness is quite long, but to select a few items that address the global challenges, risks, and opportunities, we can single out the following ones. One, what's happening today in terms of hyperconnectivity at a global level. Saudi Arabia has one of the highest mobile penetrations in the world, nearing 200% of the population. And it was among the first markets in the region, if not the first, to open the telecom sector for competition and for foreign direct investment. The second major trend is the urbanization and the rise of cities as key drivers of international competitiveness. Not only we have seen the rise of economic cities, such as the one we are in today, but the ambitious development of existing ones as well, along the core pillars of city competitiveness, namely regulations and the regulatory framework, especially to simplify doing business. Secondly, the hard connectivity, i.e. the infrastructure, transportation, telecommunications, and other infrastructures necessary to build a competitive city. And last but not least, the soft connectivity, the use of technology and applications, as well as building a good living environment. The third global trend is the emerging new industrial revolution based on technology innovation. Saudi Arabia has been quietly but significantly advancing its capabilities through research, development, and commercialization in many areas, such as materials, renewable energy, genomics, aerospace, and information and communications technology. Not many global investors actually know that, but it has actually been happening and happening quite significantly in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now, with great institutions such as KAUST and KAXT, significant progress has been happening in these areas of research and development and innovation. For the global community, this may not be obvious. The tendency to stereotype may mask the true collaboration potential that could exist in Saudi Arabia. There are certain paradoxes that need to be understood by investors when making investments in Saudi Arabia to understand how to navigate the ecosystem and how to create successful partnerships. The first one is that many believe that this is an oil-centered economy, and it stops at that. But diversifying is a significant progress that has been happening in Saudi Arabia at a phenomenal pace. The other one is, it's a traditional culture. Traditional, yes, but progressive, embracing innovation while preserving the culture and heritage of society. And that must be respected and understood in order to create a successful partnership. Focused, yet flexible. Clear vision and plans are in place. However, there is a great willingness to modify when necessary and when partnerships and major programs require so. Risk-averse, yet bold, as exemplified with the mega cities projects, among other programs, where risks are calculated but faced with no fear in terms of execution. All this combined with the largest market in the region makes Saudi Arabia the perfect partner in the global value chain and a very open space for potential investments, inward and outward, with global collaboration to create a better region and a better world. Thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to our discussion today.
Why should Saudi Arabia really care about attracting investments in the technology and telecom sector?
Investments in the technology sector. Well, let's just look back a little bit at how Saudi Arabia evolved in the area of technology. It was among the first sectors to be open for foreign direct investment. And the liberalization of the telecommunications market was the starting point to enable technology development in Saudi Arabia. As I mentioned earlier, the penetration rates in mobile communications is extremely high here. And the adoption rate, utilization of technology, if you look at that from a population perspective, is extremely high. And the education system is now geared more and more towards technology development, in addition to having centers of excellence in research and development in terms of technology, the universities as well as public institutions. Now, all said, it's also important to recognize that the scale of the market and its position within the GCC allow local development as well, local production and local assembly. And there's been a lot of work also on local innovation and entrepreneurship. So if you're looking across the region to see where you can actually find capabilities, where you can find a large enough local market to sustain a significant investment and development in manufacturing or software development, etc. And where can you find an accessible market to the region with favorable terms in terms of exports and imports across the GCC, you find that Saudi Arabia is a good place to incubate technology developments in the region. It gives those developments and investments a significant chance of success compared to many other parts of the region.
And